Everybody eats. Everybody eats.
I ain't eating. You ain't eating? What you mean you ain't eating? You ain't making this paper, man? Everybody eat. I gotta eat, man.
You are listening to the Everybody Eats podcast. Now for your host, Mr. AJ Simmons.
Welcome to the 100% Financed Podcast, home of entrepreneurs, business owners, and real estate investors everywhere. 100PF is not just an online business, it's a culture, helping you make more money while maintaining pretty credit. If you're looking for great content on credit repair, business credit, creative financing, motivation, and online business, then you found the right podcast. Listen up as Juan Pablo, the People's Mentor, presents another great podcast episode for your listening pleasure. Juan Pablo, give these beautiful people the tools they need to succeed.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Juan Pablo from the 100% Podcast. We have a guest speaker today. We have AJ Simmons. What's up, AJ?
What's going on, Juan Pablo? I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate you creating the time to join the podcast. So we have a good topic, which is a topic you are very familiar with, and I think it's a great business model. It is the do and teach business model. Because, there's a lot of people who say those who teach don't do, but you, my friend, are pretty much the opposite of that. You actually do the business as well as teach it to make money off that as well, correct?
Absolutely, and it's like, because I always wanted to teach and coach and all of that anyway, but I kind of lose respect for those who try to teach just straight from the beginning without even ever having the experience. So I made sure that I actually built the business, and I'm building a business while I teach, so I think that's very important.
Yeah, it's pretty much practice what you preach. So today, AJ, he'll show you how to set up a business and how to get paid from teaching the business to others. So, AJ, if you could just start off, before we get into the questions, just telling us about yourself as well as all that you do business-wise.
All right, so I'm AJ Simmons. First and foremost, my bread and butter is commercial cleaning. So I have a commercial cleaning company called A&A Solutions, LLC. And I also do real estate investing. I have rental property. I'm a business consultant, YouTube creator. I'm an author. I wrote a ebook called Is It a Scam? The Truth About Commercial Cleaning Franchises. And I'm also a stock investor because I'm a part of a stock investing group. So that's pretty much everything I do. That's a rundown. I also volunteer on a couple of nonprofit boards and organizations, but that's just the gist of everything that I do.
Oh, you forgot to include part-time rapper.
Yeah, we working on that. And I got bars, by the way.
That's not even an understatement. This dude got major bars. Check out his channel. What's your channel before we get into the content?
You can just search AJ Simmons, but if you want to go to www.youtube.com/Mr. AJ Simmons, it'll come right up.
Okay, so that's more than 5 different businesses that you have currently. And that's amazing to me how you're able to manage them all. But my question is, out of all those businesses, what informational products do you sell? Meaning, which business that you perfected and you say, hey, how about I teach this by selling this education into an ebook or audiobook or what have you?
Right. So as I said, the cleaning company is my bread and butter. So I've created 4 different stems just from that, which is my ebook, of course. And then I have exclusive videos that I sell on YouTube for my How to Start a Cleaning Business series that I started. And then I also do consultations. And the consultations is more in general business coaching altogether, but it mainly stems from my cleaning side because everybody wants to know about how to start their cleaning business or how to start a cleaning franchise. And then the last thing is what I'm working on, which is Simmons School of Business, where I'm going to do an online school where I can just kind of bottle every single thing that I do and teach up on one website, and I can just teach everybody right on that one school website. And I'm also going to solicit other entrepreneurs such as yourself, and I'm going to try to get you guys to help me teach up there as well. And, just submit a couple of courses, you know what I mean? So that's pretty much everything that I feel so far, and I'm steady working and growing, trying to figure out more things.
Oh, AJ, you just spilled the beans when you said you have paid YouTube videos, because all my YouTube videos are free. So watch out, listeners. I might have to replicate what AJ is doing and start charging you for this content on YouTube. Right. But so my next question, AJ, is what is your secret to setting up so many businesses and being able to keep track of it all? Because personally, if I have multiple businesses, in the beginning, it was hard for me to juggle it all, and some things began to fall through the cracks. How are you able to keep track of everything and set everything up? What's your secret?
Right. So basically, the first thing is that everything that I have except for the real estate, everything goes into the A&A Solutions pot. So, and my accountant pretty much told me to do that. So, as far as structure-wise, I don't actually have different entities set up for each individual thing. At first, I thought it was a good idea simply because I was afraid of, if the cleaning company got sued or something, then all of that was on the line. But what he told me is, well, I won't give you every secret, but I will say that that's what insurance is for. So we'll leave it at that. But there's other things involved in that. And then the other thing, too, is with, my real estate property, that money goes into a whole separate account. So I separate only those two. So that leaves a lot less to manage. Another thing is the actual cleaning business that I have is really the only time-demanding thing that I have. See, when you got a book and you got YouTube videos and the consultation, all of those are either residual or they're light-duty work. They're not very time-consuming. So that's pretty much right. They're passive. So it's very easy to manage it when it doesn't demand a whole lot of time. And then also the most important thing is systems. Create that system. You got to create a system. I'm getting better at it. I see that I'm not as good as Juan Pablo yet because I watch you, Juan, closely, and I can tell that you really got your systems in order. So, but that's the key, to have those systems in place, and then also to make sure that you're using, just start off with that one thing, you know what I mean, and then you kind of branch off from there.
I like that because I see that as a growing trend among some serial entrepreneurs, which I like to give you that title since you have your hand in so many different pots. And that trend is you might have one business that is pretty much time-consuming. You might be the CEO or the COO, the founder, what have you, but it is demanding your time. And then you say, you know what, I'm going to create other businesses around this main business that's similar to it. So it's all in the same industry. And then you're going to make sure that those other entities or other revenue streams are passive. And I assume as well, correct me if I'm wrong, they're probably all your businesses are things that you're passionate about. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. So it's like if you perfected a craft, why not teach it to others? I'm not sure if you heard of a pastor by the name of T.D. Jakes, but I remember one time he was being interviewed, and he's similar to you. He does so many different revenue streams. He has many different aspects to his business model. So, of course, he'll be in the pulpit. He will also have books. At a time, he was doing movies, speaking engagements, and so forth. In the interview, I asked him the same question which I asked you. How are you able to do all this? And he said pretty much every single stream of his business revolves around one industry, and that is communication. He said his passion and his skill set is communication. So as long as he can communicate the word, it doesn't matter what the platform would be. As long as he communicates one message, that platform can be a book. The next platform could be him in a pulpit. The next platform could be him in a speaking engagement or writing a playwright for a movie and so forth.
Exactly. And it's funny, I forgot I actually do public speaking too. And as something else that you brought up, T.D. Jakes, I was listening to one of his interviews, and we also have in common that we have a list. And mine isn't quite as strong as his, I don't think, but people told him in the beginning of his career that he would never be able to be a public speaker or be as successful as he is as a pastor because of that list. And I was told the same thing because I was a rapper. You know what I mean? They would say, well, you can never do it. But I think that those who have heard me would definitely agree that I'm just fine with the list or not. So.
Yep. And hey, Moses had the same issue. He had a speech impediment, and he was a leader over a whole nation. You know what I'm saying? So that matters little, you know. But so the next question I have for you, AJ, is if a business owner, right, and that's pretty much the audience that I have out there, aspiring business owners, entrepreneurs, if this person wants to set up another revenue stream, let's say selling an informational product based upon a other business that they're operating, what advice or tips would you give that person?
Exactly what we were just saying. So you want to start with that one thing, first of all, and try to perfect it, try to be the best at it. And sometimes you don't necessarily have to be, in love with what you do in the beginning, as long as you can be the best at it. Because once you become the best at it, you'll learn to love it. You know what I mean? That's how I learned to love cleaning. It's like, how do you learn to love scrubbing toilets? Well, when you become the best at it, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard not to love it. So the first thing is get that one thing. Then you want to create a system out of it so that way you can kind of free up some of your time, so that way you're organized and you know it. And also because you want it to be teachable and be able to have it, to be able to be duplicated. And so if you create a system out of it, it can be duplicated. So that's the first thing. Get that one thing, create a system out of it. Then you want to expand on services. Once you expand on services, then you're starting to bring in other streams within that business. So, for example, I was doing commercial cleaning, which is cleaning buildings, but then I added on residential cleaning. So that's how you expand on services. Then once you expand on services, then you want to roll into, or you can, you don't have to do it in this order, but this is a good way to go. Then you can go into selling informational products. So how I started with selling informational products was simply put out YouTube videos online and see what the demand is. See if there's even a real niche or a want for what you have to offer. So I started doing YouTube for free and just putting videos out there just to see. And I realized there was definitely a market out there. Nobody else was teaching what I was teaching. So, and then the people who were trying to teach it, they offered no value. You know what I mean? They would just say stuff and they would put the stuff out, but they were basically talking in circles. And it almost became obvious that the person who was talking about it never actually ran a cleaning company before. So just to reiterate that first, get your one thing. Next, create a system out of it. Then you want to expand on your services. Then start selling informational products and teaching people how to duplicate what you did, and you can charge for that as well. And then once you do all of that and you've exhausted all of those avenues just on that one thing, well, then you can finally go ahead and branch off to the next thing, whether you want to go real estate or you want to start another business or buy a franchise or whatever the case may be. But I think if you go in that order, you kind of follow that little guideline, you'll be all right. You'll be just fine. And also, I want to put this out, too. If you guys aren't generating at least $100,000 in that current business that you're in, I don't think that you should even be looking at other ventures. Like, you should definitely be wanting to expand on your services and trying to teach people if you want to start teaching and duplicating that. But as far as looking into a completely different line of business and you haven't even hit $100,000 on the one that you're in, you're probably not focused enough. So you definitely want to make sure that you've exhausted all avenues of income, or at least a sufficient amount to where you feel like it can flow as a system, it's comfortable, and you're making money on it before you even go to another venture. So that's my take on that.
Wow, that's an excellent tip. Sounds like you did your homework before you got into this podcast. It was all laid out and pretty. And
hey, you threw me a nice alley-oop this time. you set it up nice for me, so I'm ready now.
Because normally people would be like, man, that's a hard question. Let me think about that for a second. But you were just going with it. And the thing I would like to add to that, AJ, was if a person wants to teach but have never done, in my opinion, they're just a philosopher. Only thing that they have is just philosophy and theories, because they've never done it. And it's kind of hard for a person to follow them or purchase their information and product if they haven't done it. In my opinion, they lack the credibility. And that's
Absolutely.
true. I took the same approach. It boils down to test marketing. In my case, after I was gaining success in real estate investing, and I networked a lot in New York City in that market, and a lot of my friends were pretty much business people, and they would begin to request, to hang out with me, and they just pretty much wanted to pick my brain. And then I realized, like you mentioned, that there was a need. People want to know this information. And I did the same thing you did. Hey, well, if they want to know this information, I wonder if there's people outside of New York City who want to learn the same information as well. So let me just put the word out there, put some topics out there, and then it created a buzz. But I like that too. You brought up a good point that I myself had never thought of, which is having a benchmark. If your business is not generating six figures, you might want to keep your mouth shut in regard to advertising as an information product until you reach that benchmark.
Right. And not only just advertising the products. I mean, especially because I can understand putting some information out there if you haven't reached a certain amount of income on your business. But I really want to focus on don't try to go to a whole nother venture before you hit that benchmark. Because if you have a cleaning company now and it's only generating $40,000 a year, and you want to sell a book on that, but you could, because of what the information that you already know that got you to the $40,000 might help the person that hasn't made $1 yet. So I can understand that. But what you don't want to do is if you're only making $40,000 in your cleaning business, and then you turn around and say, all right, well now I want to go start a laundromat. You know what I mean? That I wouldn't do that. You need to make sure that you're locked in and focused and have that burning desire that Napoleon Hill talks about when you creating these businesses and when they're still in that startup phase. And now I got to tell you too, that's a big reason why. I remember when I interviewed you on my YouTube channel, I told myself I was going to reach out to you and start, getting up under your wing and doing the real estate. But what I had to realize is I'm still growing what I already started. It's kind of too late for me to go back. So I really wanted to just hone in on my cleaning and keep growing it and growing it. But now I'm ready, so I'm coming to see you now. but yeah, so I just try to follow that little blueprint, I guess, and just trying to focus. That's basically my goal here.
That's excellent. A business partner of mine, well, potential, I should say. We're not business partners yet. We were having a conversation, and it was about a image I saw on Instagram where it said the average millionaire has 7 streams of income.
Right.
And we were discussing that we were talking about it for a reason, because people who may want to be millionaires or want to be business persons, they might see that photo and think, oh, I need to start 7 businesses right now. But that's not it. The thing is, you pretty much just answered what you need to do, AJ. You said what you want to do is make sure that you have one business set up, it's cash flowing, it's systematic, hopefully it doesn't demand too much of your time, and then once it's airtight and on autopilot, then you switch gears and say, all right, I'm bored with this. Now let me try something different. And like you said, maybe you want to incorporate another service, or maybe you want to teach people that business and make it an educational business. And that's the process you take, because I say this to many people. If I shout out the names, you tell me what they're known for. Kobe Bryant.
Basketball.
Okay. P. Diddy.
Music.
Jay-Z.
Business. Or music.
Right.
Both of them are business.
Okay. Right. So in the beginning, they were known for one thing. But these guys have more than one income stream.
Exactly.
So once they focus on the music, got that airtight, then they might have said, hey, let's go into liquor. Hey, let's go into making the band or reality TV. Hey, let's go into creating a record label. Hey, let's go into starting a sports company or having ownership in a sports team or a stadium. Hey, let's go into clothing. Then they began to offshoot different things. So that's important, guys. Make sure you get that one business airtight, on autopilot, then go to the next thing. And then by that time, you might have 7 streams of income, and they're all on autopilot, giving you a nice, consistent cash flow.
Exactly.
Right, so, Go ahead.
I done a video on that before saying the exact same thing, and I know it's hard for people to listen to that at first coming from me because I didn't do that starting off. You know, I did start off trying to do 1,000 things until one day I realized, all right, I'm hustling backwards. Focus on this thing right here, this cleaning business, because that's where the money's coming from. That's what you're an expert on, and stick to that.
Excellent. Next question. So you're playing the game pretty well. You know, you probably average maybe 20 points a game, maybe 7 rebounds a game, about 6 assists a game. So you're doing pretty decent, you know, almost all-star status. But for you to be that MVP of the league, playing a bigger game, what would that be in your opinion? What's playing a bigger game to A.J. Simmons?
Doing exactly every single thing that I'm already doing, bigger and better. That's it, really. I can't think of – it's like I love the game of basketball, so why would I switch to football? You know what I mean? I'm already doing it. I just got to do it bigger and better. So that means I have to keep honing in on my skill. I got to keep practicing. And so to translate that to real life terms, what I'm saying is I'm already teaching people how to start businesses, what I always dreamed of doing. I'm already running a business that's generating revenue, and I have employees. You know what I mean? And so my point is I want to just do everything that I'm doing bigger. I really want to get into real estate. I already have property, but I want more. So that I just need to do more. So basically, if I wanted to play this game bigger, I would just keep doing what I'm doing and keep growing and keep fighting through. That's basically it.
Excellent. Yeah, because, you and I, we're pretty much, and correct me if I'm wrong, at the small business level, but we both want to be at the big business level. Absolutely. And I realized that there's certain things that, in order to play a bigger game, I have to incorporate more people into my team. Because I had an epiphany when I was speaking with another potential business partner, and we were talking about hosting an event this 4th of July, July 5th, Financial Independence Day, about, becoming financially independent, quitting your day job through multifamily investing. Right. So we were just brainstorming some ideas, and he says, "Oh, that's a good idea. So maybe you should get that to your web developer so he can make the edits on a web page." And I'm like, "Well, I actually do it myself." He's like, "Okay. Well, maybe you can send out the email blast, and for the marketing aspect, and you can have your person who does that for you." I'm like, I too send out my email blast. And he's like, "Well, okay. Well, maybe you can give it to someone who can help build your list and process the payments." I'm like, I process my own payments. And he's like, "Damn, you do everything." And when he said that, I'm like, I shouldn't be doing everything. To play a bigger game, like you mentioned, which seems to be the theme of this podcast, I should focus on what I'm really good at. That could be content creation. It could be marketing, spreading the word, the educational aspect, facilitating events. I should just focus on that. And everything from processing payments to sending out email blasts to even answering comments on social media to editing the website, all that should be outsourced to new team members so I can focus on my bread and butter, focus on growing the business, like he said, instead of running the business.
I definitely agree 100% because I could be so much more resourceful with everything that I do simply because but I don't outsource, so that's why I'm not growing faster than what I could be. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I definitely can relate to that.
Yeah, and it takes someone on the outside to tell you that. And it might not be all nice and sweet with it and say, "Oh, man, come on, you could be doing so much better." They're like, "Man, what are you doing? Why are you still doing that? Why are you still processing your own payments? Why are you still doing this?" And I'm like, why am I? Especially if you already gained some success, I should focus on just reinvesting my earnings into hiring a bigger staff and just focus on the things that I bring value to the table. All right, AJ, so if you could recommend your number one book and your number one YouTube channel outside of yourself, because I know you might want to promote yourself because I'll be the same way. Like, of course, I'm going to market my own content, But if you could recommend your top book, YouTube channel, and movie that you recommend.
All right. So all of these change very often. And for the first thing, book. I'm not going to do Think and Grow Rich, and I'm not going to do Rich Dad, Poor Dad, even though they are always and will always be the top two. I'm going to do Richest Man in Babylon. That's my third favorite. And that's actually a book that you told me about when I interviewed you. So, and I enjoyed that book. So that's my book. My YouTube channel actually is, I'm kind of teetering between Grant Cardone right now and your channel. I've been watching a lot of your stuff lately. But it always changes. The last time it was what was my guy? Infinite Waters. I like him. So that changes all the time. And then for my movie, I guess I'll pick Paid in Full right now. And that might switch to Get Rich or Die Trying by tomorrow. And then maybe Wolf of Wall Street or something, So, but those are.
That's good. So pretty much all of them revolve around business, correct?
That's right.
Business and or personal development.
Right.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm the same way, man. It's amazing how, the old adage, great minds think alike, because I interview fellow business persons, and they all have, like, similar tastes in media and books, and they also pretty much say the same stuff. Like, I might hear someone quote something. I'm like, oh, that's Jim Rohn, Or he might say, yeah, I'm trying to 10X this. I'm like, oh, that's Grant Cardone. I'm like, you say, your head in the same atmosphere, pretty much personal development and business. All right, so what is your last word of advice to that one person who's interested in perhaps converting or creating a new business, which is pretty much informational products, from what they are currently doing? That do and then teach model. What would be your number one piece of advice?
All right, so my advice would be, first off, education is key. And when I say that, I don't mean going to get a degree, because I don't have one. I mean get your experience and understand what you're doing and know it in and out. Try to be the best at it. And you don't have to know the entire workforce for that whole thing. Like, for example, I do cleaning, but I couldn't tell you almost any of the products that are out on the market. I only know the one that I use, and I stick with it, and it works, But I know the business. I know how to structure a business and build it, and that's what I have over all of the other companies, regardless of how much chemical pH balance or whatever they might know over me. So, but you want to educate yourself and know exactly about every single thing that you're trying to sell. So, and then to follow that up, you need to know if there's a niche for what you're trying to offer, because if there's no demand for it, you're wasting your time anyway. So, and see what you can offer, because like you were just saying, Juan, a lot of these people, they're echoing almost everybody else. So if you can figure out a way to create something of value and package it up and sell it, that'll be awesome. If you can put it in a book and turn around and make some videos, and then you can turn around and make a DVD series or whatever the case may be. But if you can find a way to put out some information and package it up and that isn't already available, or if you can do it in a unique way to put value into it, then you'll be just fine doing that.
All right, and if people wanted to reach out to you, what's their best mode of reaching out?
All right, so probably right now until the Simmons School of Business goes live, because once I get that going, I'm going to be probably living up there. But right now, is just comment on my YouTube video. With my latest video on YouTube, just leave a comment, and that's probably the fastest way to get in touch with me, because I was doing my email, but I've been slacking off on the email, and then I never read Twitter. I never read Facebook messages, so your best bet would be either leave a comment on my latest YouTube video, maybe email, and maybe an Instagram message.
All right, cool. And last thing, you ready for it?
I'm ready.
You got a few bars?
All right, let me see what I can do. Oh, man.
Hopefully the audio sounds good.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were going to play the one I had. I got it. Okay. It ain't going to fall right. The own hustle for shoes and clothes, money residual, that mean it's on cruise control. So when I bought my girl the range, to show we ain't the same. But you just about your life like you ain't to blame. You see, you on the project steps, chilling, getting high. I'm out grinding because I hate just getting by. You sit and fly, but you homeless as though. And you ain't even got a car, man, that's slow. Then make it worse to hit the club and try to make it rain, which means you get cash and blow it like a Sega game. You need a 10-year goal and stop sitting playing Madden every day like you 10 years old. Man, I ain't messing with you tricking cash boys. Still staying home with your mom, principal skinner ass boy. Cool as high school. Build your wealth up for your kids and stop trying to buy shoes. See, this was bait just to make you think bigger and understand that you a king, we ain't niggas. Now be clear as I kick game. Invest in small businesses, real estate and stocks, and go all the way up. Yeah, I just told you straight up. And if you still can't get it after that, go eat about 30 aspirin, cause your brain messed all the way up. That's it.
That was dope, man. I'm glad you left it somewhat PG.
Right, I did my best to bleep it all out on my own.
All right, AJ, I appreciate it, bro. It was a fun time, man. And as always, guys, this is to your success. Earn passively, live passionately. And what's your YouTube channel one more time, AJ?
Is www.youtube.com/Mr. AJ Simmons. Just type it in, yeah, I'll pop right up. And I appreciate you guys for having me.
All right, make sure you subscribe to his channel, guys. All right, peace.
Definitely. All right.
6 figures or better should be the common motive. But y'all just trying to see change like Obama voters. Money ain't my only love, but it's the main goal. And I'ma get it, deal or no deal, like the game show. Will I succeed? That's rhetorical. Cause my face looking like a dead president memorial. Ask around, they'll tell you how my grind be.